Hello, welcome to Christmas Day with some wine. I'm going to talk about the wines we're going to be tasting. We're not having, we're surrounded by pugs at the moment. We're not having lunch for a while. It won't be lunch, it'll be about 4 o'clock. So we're going to start off with some sweet. Chapelle Suduiraut 2001, an epic vintage. This is beautiful, this is amazing. Look at the colour of this. It's got incredible freshness. The pugs in the background here are giving me this wonderful compliment. Incredible freshness, grapefruit, citrus, lemon. Of course, grapefruit is a citrus, so that's a redundancy there. But with apricot richness and some spice, maybe some vanilla too. Viscous palate, very rich, intense, great acidity. Almost perfect balance between the sweetness and the viscosity. And there's exotic pineapple, peach, apricot flavours, and then the keen acidity that counters that sweetness. Beautiful way to start Christmas Day. Suduiraut 2001.
Presents.
We're waiting so long.
Another Christmas tasting note. Here we have Paul Javelet Ainay's Hermitage La Chapelle from 1997. This has just been decanted, so we'll see how it is. It's a bright colour. It's very aromatic. It's all meat and smoke and spices.
We had this in New York together, Jamie, I think.
Did we? Yes, we did.
You remember that?
Yes. It's a bit meaty and savoury. It's got this slightly savoury, earthy quality that comes from age. It's most definitely Syrah. There's a bit of iodine there as well. And it's got this fresh, meaty, bloody, sanguine quality in the palate, with black cherries, spice, red berries, a little bit of earth. This is proper Hermitage. This is kind of just before La Chapelle went on a slight downward phase. This is tasting very good now. It wasn't a tremendously great vintage, but this is aged really nicely. And it's now mature, now ready to drink. Happy Christmas. The next wine, Le Dôme, 1996, which is a Saint-Emilion from Mr. Malthus. It's been decanted. So a year older than the Hermitage. Still quite tight and fresh on the nose. Black cherries, plums, hint of blackcurrant. Lovely freshness there, really nice freshness. And the palate, it's quite taut, and this is a wine that's now 18 years old, but it's still quite useful and tight, and it's a wine that suggests it's got longer to go. Black cherries, gravel, chalk on the palate, some grip. Very attractive, not at all showy or blousy. This is a nicely focused wine, and it's kind of 96 really was a very good vintage in Bordeaux. I think it's one of those vintages we're only beginning to realise how good it was. Now we're tasting the wines as they approach their drinking window. And I think this is a fabulous wine, and it'll be interesting to see how this is in a couple of hours after it's been in a decanter for a bit, because it's very tight wound at the moment. But beautiful, very nice wine.
And what? And your pants while we're doing
You've actually got to be in the room.
So another Christmas tasting note, and I'm quite excited about this wine. I've just tried it. It's the Hospice de Beaune bottling from Lucien Lemoine, and it's Saint-Romain, and it's Cuvée Joseph Manot, and 2011 vintage. And this is a wine that's sold by Marks and Spencer's, who bought this, and it's a stunning white Burgundy. It's got this just incredible matchstick reductive mineral nose, so lively and intense. It's really just exactly what I'm looking for in white Burgundy. Lovely citrus and pear flavours as well, quite intense, good acidity, quite keen. Just a beautiful multi-layered wine that's very skillfully utilised this kind of reductive character and integrated it in the core of the wine. We use something that's really beautiful, really delicious. This is fabulous, this is superb. And the next wine is from South Africa. It's Mulderbosch Chenin W, single vineyard Chenin Blanc. W Block is one of the new series of 3 wines that Mulderbosch are making that are trying to show how high-end Chenin can reflect the sites of origin. And this wine is, just tried it already, this is quite special. It's rich, as you'd expect from a good South African Chenin Blanc, but it's not blousy at all, it's not too fat. There's a lovely tension in the mouth between the sweet, rich, ripe pear and peach flavours, but also this lovely, fine, fresh, citrusy, minerally edge to it. It's quite delicious. And this is a wine I think will age beautifully. It's a very young wine, and it's kind of all its energy is kind of tied up inside itself at the moment. But I think this will develop really nice. There's this lovely tangerine edge that's delicious and fresh. So this is a super wine. Another hit.
So I've got a kitchen roll.
Time to mention a couple more wines. As Christmas lunch, it's almost Christmas dinner I guess by this stage, is about to appear. First of all, white Bordeaux. This is the Clos Floridin, which is from Grave. It's 2012 vintage. It's made by Denis de Bourdieu. It's one of the most famous winemakers in Bordeaux. It's a famous consultant winemaker and an academic. Anyway, this is a beautiful, delicate nose. It's very fresh, expressive. Tangerine, grapefruit, a bit of greenness, so delicious. Bright, expressive, good acidity. This is a really very pure, fine example of white Bordeaux. It's fabulous. It's so good. The second, similar theme. It's Sauvignon with a bit of Semillon. It's something from New Zealand. It's Tokoko from Cloudy Bay, 2011 vintage. And this will have, I think this was some Semillon in, but it's received some oak aging during its maturation process. And I guess a bit of wild ferment as well in the barrel. And it's Cloudy Bay's attempt to make a Sauvignon Blanc more of the top white Bordeaux style with some complexity that comes from this wild fermented barrel ferment stage. And it's interesting, the difference between Bordeaux and New Zealand is immediately apparent in terms of the aromatics. They're more tightly framed, fresh, pure, lively. This has some of the greenness that Marlborough Sauvignon has as well, but it's an integrated sort of greenness. It's fresh and vivid, quite detailed, quite pure. There's some herbal sort of character there as well. Creamy in the texture as well. It's a very precise style of wine. Very detailed, fresh, intense. It's still very, very primary. This is a 2011 wine, but it's still immensely primary and focused. It probably needs another 5 to 10 years to begin to show what it's got. It's a very interesting wine. So 2 more wines, and it's almost time to eat.
It's him. Hello, get them all going. They're all cocking their heads. They're not doing it now. They're not playing.
Dreams come true.
Who's good buddies? Who's good buddies?
Song of mine in 3/4 time wishes you and yours, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, look at that.
How do I guess?
What have I got for you? It's the Christmas con.
So we've eaten, and now it's time for some more wine and some more Bordeaux. Chapelle La Rose, 2000, which is a very good vintage. Drinking well now. This has got lovely fresh, still quite primary blackcurrant fruit, but also with some slightly savoury, earthy notes as well. Bit of maturity. Lovely savoury, gravelly, chalky undercurrents to the fruit, which is really attractive. This is what you come to Bordeaux for, I think, this sort of wine. It's fresh, just 12.5% alcohol, which I guess by today's standards is a little bit unthinkable. But this is such a lovely wine. It's got poise, it's got freshness, it's not unripe. So it's a slight hint of greenness, which is very attractive in the context of the rest of the flavours in this wine. A really good claret. Superb.
Yeah.